Hello and welcome. I am Aurora. These shapes that you see are called the flying rainbow lasagna. These are higher dimensional toroidal shapes that represent the genetic portal that I invented or created and came here through in 2001 in my journey as a walk-in. I come here with very specific information to be able to share and uplift and educate humanity, literally to rectify the time field by sharing this information with you. It has to do with a language of color, line, shape, and form, basically a language of harmonics. And it's very visual. I use a lot of diagrams. I teach basically higher dimensional math. And when I say the word math, I'm envisioning everyone is like, no, running out the window. Please don't run out the window. I do it all in a very accessible, fun, and lighthearted way. And people that have already taken my class know that about me. So a very supportive teacher, non-judgmental, and really take people at whatever level you are at in your comprehension of the world. So you don't have to have a degree in astrophysics in order to take my class. In fact, some of the best long-term students are people that have a minimal education background, but a great desire to actually learn about these things. You know, apologies for the loud garbage truck that's gonna be outside right while I do this video, of course, right? So Lessons for Full Spectrum Humans is an original curriculum that I developed 10 years ago. And up until that point, mostly I've shared my ideas through just paintings and drawings and speaking non-verbally. And now Cheeky's getting upset about those garbage trucks. Sorry, everyone. I hope I don't have to redo this video. Let's just keep going. Originally, mostly a painter and also, of course, sculptor, making these two pieces are made by hand and this one is 3D printed. But I realized in 2012, after the December 21st portal, that it really wasn't enough to just make drawings and paintings and hope that people would comprehend what these are really about. It was necessary to articulate it on a greater level. So at that point, I didn't have any computer skills. I didn't know anything about software. I didn't know anything about anything. And I really was like, okay, I'm gonna have to get a computer. I'm gonna have to figure this out. So I started making these whiteboards. And the whiteboards are like moving diagrams where you hear my voice but you don't see my face. And when I started doing this, that was actually very innovative software, quite rare to be able to use. Now whiteboards are very normal. And I started teaching my class through Zoom, which again, now is very normal and everyone does that. But it was a little bit on the outskirts when I first started doing it back in 2013 and 2014. And at this point, I have such a beautiful student body of people who have signed up and stayed on board, because I say that literally once you enroll, you don't have to enroll again. You're always welcome and invited and encouraged to come back for future semesters and continue to participate and share your perspective as an advanced student in the one-room schoolhouse. So it's an original curriculum that comes to me through my direct insight, through my connection to the stars and the stellar network, which is a great brain in the sky, which is also where I am bouncing around as a thought impulse known as the Aurora Collective. I know that that is a lot for you to handle in the first 3 minutes of a video if you're new to my stuff, but that's how fast things move around here. Why the rainbows? It's not merely for coolness or design or something like that, even though we love rainbows and the way that they look and they're very pretty. It has to do with the layers of your subtle body that are known as your chakras or your energy center or your energy field or your light body, but I also call it your time body. And every single one of these layers, levels, colors represents a layer or a level of reality, and that you have this complex energy field system that energy flows through as you are moving through time and experiencing your life. So what I give is a very, very detailed, grander perspective on what time is and what it is to move through your own particular time field or narrative of your life and how to be empowered. That is what the flying rainbow lasagna is, as this is a higher dimensional shape of the torus, and every time you add a dimension, you gain an additional degree of freedom. So I teach first about the basics of this language of harmonics. It's color, line, shape, form, movement, texture, and tone, like a musical tone that you hear with your ears. And it also is harmonics in the sense that, like, if you look at all of my paintings, they are all made out of these nested proportional circles that have a very real language and syntax and non-self-conflictory logic to what is being presented. And it is a divine intelligence, a divine mind, a much, much larger overarching presence pattern that pervades everything, and that you are a part of that. It is part of what dictates your cellular structure and events in your life and even thought structures and even cell-to-cell communication and metabolism and molecular transformations that happen, such as the metabolism of glucose in your body. So you are a part of this pattern. It is not something separate from you in any way. And learning about that pattern then makes possible the capacitation for you to start doing a new genetic dance. And the new genetic dance is called the Flying Rainbow Lasagna, named lasagna because of its resemblance to the curly edge of a lasagna noodle. It was the best I could come up with at the time. I was a newcomer to the English language and even expressing myself through the flapping of my moving mouth parts as opposed to pure telepathy. Things are very different where I come from pre-walk-in, all right? That's all I'm trying to say here. Flying Rainbow Lasagna is the higher dimensional dance movement that you can make with your DNA, and in so doing, turn down the volume on characteristics that might be about disease or death, and turn up the volume that are on characteristics that have to do with moving through time in a nonlinear fashion, achieving what humans now would call your superpowers or greater levels of capacitation from the awakening of your higher senses. And your higher senses is your pineal gland and your indigo chakra and your crown chakra, but it also relates to connection to Christ consciousness, the overarching galactic scale meta being that is a multifaceted gem, and you are a facet on one of those gems. And this is not only for certain people. It is because I recognize that in human culture, the Christian religion is for certain people that have made certain agreements to certain doctrines. You have higher faculties that are dormant. It is for everyone, and it is also for dogs and cats, trees, blades of grass, butterflies, everything, blue whales, dolphins, this entire world. And that's actually, if I pan down and make the camera shake a little bit, that's what you see down there. It's a painting that is all about the ongoing transformation in our world that is planetary ascension, and your own personal ascension has everything to do with planetary ascension. So that's why this material is still so relevant. I've been here as you could say representative of the Aurora Collective, and very much as an inspirer, rectifier, and ongoing planetary guardian due to the events that are happening in terms of planetary ascension and some of the inhibitors that have been here trying to subvert or diminish or hijack or stop completely the human ascension process, I should say planetary ascension process. And so yeah, my purpose here in being a walk-in has everything to do with planting seeds of information in this time place that will change the course of human thought forms and move you forward in a positive and empowered direction. Flying Rainbow Lasagna, just to wrap it all up, is a tool for personal empowerment that helps you to transcend the genetic modifications that were done to humanity a long, long time ago that took you from being an immortal light eater and turned you into a fragile, vulnerable, mortal food eater. And we're in the process of moving towards being a pure light eater, or what people call a breatharian, but not there yet. I have a lot of information to share with you that will help you on your journey. And everything that I do is based in a foundation of freedom, foundation of cosmic law, and I'm the type of art teacher or music teacher or ascension mentor that wants only to tell you about the existence of these tools, and I demonstrate with the human body what you can do with these tools, and then make them available to you and say take it and run with it and make it your own. So the Flying Rainbow Lasagna is my unique song in the cosmos, but I'm not the only person who's ever going to sing this song. I want you guys to learn about it. So I go deep into what DNA is, how it is connected to time, and then how to do the actual Flying Rainbow Lasagna dance. It's like learning a musical instrument. It's not done overnight or even in an intensive weekend workshop, like learning to play the piano in one weekend. So my class is about 8 months long. I know, I almost said 8 weeks. You wish. 8 months long. I know that's a big commitment for some people, and that you have families, jobs, education, other things that you have to do in your schedule. I want you to know that this is an invitation, not an obligation, and that it's totally fine if you hop in and out of class. If you're able to do as much as you can, the opportunity stands for you to be able to do this. There's tuition that I ask, and what I've done is actually migrate my entire platform off of Teachable onto Vimeo and actually reduced my price. I've combined levels 1 and 2. It's now just everything, you get everything for $200. And if that is too much, you can become a patron at the level of $25 per month. And if that is too much, you can contact me for a scholarship. I say this all the time, that we're still living in the world, we're on the threshold of non-materialism, and it's going to be an amazing moment of freedom. But for now, I still have to keep electrons flowing in my wires. I still have to pay for my studio rent. We still are involved in this world of commodification. So I ask that people support my work in order to keep me afloat and keep the lasagna flying in what I'm doing. And I also say that that should be secondary to your participation in this class. If the topics that I talk about and the things that I say make your heart stand up and say, yes, please contact me, even if you don't have the money for tuition, because it's absolutely essential for you to be able to know about these things, learn about these things. I literally teach about things that it's information that is not available in other places, and it's part of my mission to make sure that the right people get access to it, so it is not simply everything behind a paywall. So yeah, I ask for people to contribute, but I also I'm very accommodative with a lot of scholarships, and I simply ask that people bring their best energy to class, and those have been some of the best students that I've had, people that people that really wanted to participate. I said, don't let money be a limiter. So how do you sign up after 11 minutes of this long video with the garbage trucks in the background and everything? There's a form in the description that you can send me your email, and you can also do either payment via PayPal, or you can make arrangements, or people have knitted me scarves or sent me crystals. Can do creative ways of being able to barter or do energy exchange. So email me and follow the instructions in the form. Class begins on June 7th, Wednesday. It's 2 p.m. Pacific time, and it usually runs about 2 hours, but I always run over, so just pretend it's going to be 3 hours. And I always send an archive of the class as well, so when you sign up via email, you'll get the Zoom invite every week, class lecture notes, which I'll include as a PDF, and also the archive, so not a huge amount of spam, although you will receive, at least 2 to 3 emails per week on this. And then class runs for the next 8 months. People that have been in my class are wonderful people. First of all, I have the best student body of some of the best minds, literally people who are fantastic, deep thinkers and geniuses in their own right, who come and learn and share also their own insights. So amazing group of people to be connected to, very positive community at this point of hundreds of students, international, which I think is absolutely wonderful way of being able to connect across our entire world and meet wonderful people that share worldviews and are part of creating this experience of literally giving birth to a new world and creating something super positive. I'm going to wrap it up so it's not an extremely long video. Class begins on Wednesday, and if you're catching this video after Wednesday, yes, you can still hop on board, and don't worry about it. You'll be able to catch up. Thank you very much, everyone, and I look forward to teaching this semester.